What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this beautiful Monday morning, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Victory Monday to everybody that's currently out there right now celebrating this huge win for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm absolutely super excited, everybody. This is crazy, right? Who would have thought that the Arizona Cardinals are going to go into SoFi Stadium and whip those LA Rams? But we're here, right? Our week can now be happy, right? We can now have a happy week now that the Arizona Cardinals have won and done it against the LA Rams. So big shout out to everybody that's currently in the chat right now. We got Jonathan, King, Chance, the same, Bird Gang up in the house, and George, I see you there too as well. Thank you so very much for coming through. If you guys haven't done so already, definitely do me one huge favor. Smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys haven't followed me on any of my social platforms, everything is going to be in the description of this video. If you like handles, the handles are right here, right below as well. So definitely follow me on my social platforms. That's Twitter. And that is also at Instagram as well, where I am also active on there. The least active platform that I'm in is probably Facebook more than anything. But obviously, YouTube's going to be the home of the Arizona sports fan here on YouTube. So I appreciate everybody for coming through. Thank you very much, everybody, for smacking the like button. If you haven't done so already, definitely do it now. We got a fun-filled show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, with the win against the LA Rams, I somehow knew that if the Colt McCoy was going to be able to pull this win off, there was going to be a lot of chatter. There was going to be a lot of things to talk about in the next coming week because let's be honest here, right? I think the Arizona Cardinals, with their backs against the walls, a lot of people, including myself, didn't have faith that this Arizona Cardinal team was going to win against a depleted Rams team, right? Because you look at the coaches, right? You see Sean McVay on the other side, you see Cliff Kingsbury on our side, and truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, the amount of times Sean McVay has beat us has gotten to the point where it's been absolutely ridiculous. So, there was a lot of people that lost faith, including myself, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, I was super positive about this game going in, because honestly, I kind of did lose faith in the ability of what Cliff Kingsbury can do. But I mean, definitely got to give kudos to where kudos is due. I know there's been a lot of chatter, including myself, trying to fire everybody within this organization, right? I'm trying to get the head off from, Steve Keim as well as Cliff Kingsbury. But as long as we win, I mean, that's all we care about, right? I think a lot of people somehow get it twisted, right? They think that I have a secret agenda that I'm trying to, get these guys fired just for my own personal gain. And honestly, that's not what it is. I want this Arizona Cardinals to succeed. Like, I want them to win a Super Bowl. I want them to be consistent. And the way that we started this season, every criticism that was given to everybody in this organization is valid. It is absolutely valid, right? Everybody had to go ahead and come up and look themselves in the mirror, right? We heard and saw a lot of people say the same things, right? We saw people say that something like, hey, we got to take our, egos out the door. We got to do this. We got to do that. We got to look ourselves in the mirror and all this different stuff. And I'm so glad that the Arizona Cardinals were able to kind of muster up a win here, because if we didn't win, oh my goodness, the noise would have been absolutely super loud, and it would just be nothing but fire Cliff, fire Keim. Now, I still think that the Keim situation is still one of those things that hasn't changed my mind yet. I'm ready for a new leadership. I'm ready for somebody to build out a new roster in the eyes of themselves, not including, what Steve Keim has done. So I'm kind of done with him still. But happy Victory Monday to everybody that's currently in the chat right now. Thank you so very much, everybody. Let's go ahead and dive right into this game, right? Now, I personally didn't see this game coming. We did a pregame show a little earlier, and I told everybody I'm not confident. Obviously, I want to win, but I'm not confident. We had some very confident people in the chat. They were like, yes, we're going to win this game. And I was like, okay, cool. Kudos to you. But yeah, I definitely got to give kudos to where kudos is due. And absolutely, the Arizona Cardinals came out and played, and they won. Now, not only did we win against the LA Rams team, right? The Arizona Cardinals came out and played very inspired football, right? Yes, we beat them 27-17, but the way that the Arizona Cardinals came out, I think that's what really impressed everybody, right? Not so much that we beat them, right? I think the win was a plus, right? We beat them within 10 points, and obviously that's a plus as well. But I think in the truth of the matter here is that the Arizona Cardinals came out and looked like a different team. They looked like a team that was inspired to win. They looked like a team that was rallying towards a quarterback, and they wanted to win this game, right? The offense did it for the defense did it for the offense, and honestly, that's what we've been longing to see for quite some time. We saw inspired football. We saw AJ Green smile, for the love of God. We saw AJ Green get 2 great catches from Colt McCoy. Now, obviously, I've been one of the AJ Green's biggest critics on this channel, and I've been wanting him out, right? I want Robbie Anderson in. Now, granted, we still haven't yet to see Robbie Anderson and what production he's bringing into this Arizona Cardinals. As of right now, it's nil. Nothing's happening at this very moment, but we got to give kudos to where kudos is due, and AJ Green caught a very good touchdown pass. He also did catch another really good pass from Colt McCoy. So we've seen some things that we haven't seen before in a very long time, right? We've seen leadership. We've seen things that transpired in the field, but it wasn't a big deal, right? Let's say, for example, Colt McCoy missed his throw. Let's say, for example, a wide receiver messed up, right? He caught the ball, but it dropped. Let's say something like that happened, right? Or maybe even a running back, got a ball, dropped. I seen a type of football here that there was no finger pointing. I saw a type of football here that I've been longing to see, right? We've been waiting for a leader to step up. When anything goes bad, the leader comes up and be like, hey, it's cool. Let's go. We got the next one coming around. And that's what we got from Colt McCoy. And I definitely think that that's exactly what we needed going into this game, because truthfully, if we lost against this Rams team, man, there's another thing coming, because the Rams is an absolute, I'm not going to say joke because they won the Super Bowl last year, but they're not a good team this year. They're absolutely not a good team this year. And I saw them play, even with Matthew Stafford, the first time we played against the Los Angeles Rams. Yes, they beat us, and that's the reason why I didn't really talk too much about it. But you can tell that that team is absolutely broken. It starts off with their offensive line, right? There's no help for Matthew Stafford at all. Now, granted, we played against a John Wolford-led team. Their offensive line wasn't very good. But the thing is also, John Wolford was also overthrowing wide receivers left and right. When they had a good opportunity, he was just overthrowing people. So I'm happy that the Arizona Cardinals beat this team, because this is the team that we should have beaten, right? It absolutely is. The Rams have 3 wins. We have 3 wins. But if you definitely really take a look into it, I definitely think that the Arizona Cardinals can be that team, as long as we continue to play the type of football that we saw on Sunday. And honestly, I'm calling it inspiring football. I'm calling it absolutely inspiring football, because we haven't seen it in a very long time, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't seen it in a very long time, and I'm so glad, I'm so happy that we saw it. Now, granted, if Colt McCoy went in there and he lost, I think that most fans would just expect it. I got a lot of comments on Sunday the moment that I went ahead and posted something like, hey, Kyler Murray's out, Byron Murphy's out, also DJ Humphries. People told me that they were going to go out there and not watch this game. They're going to go out there and get groceries. They're going to go out there and do chores. They're not going to watch this game, because what's the point? That's what I heard from the Bird Gang. And I'm not saying, don't do those things. It's your life. Obviously do whatever you need to do. But if you missed this game, actually watching it and not seeing the highlights, you missed a very, very inspiring performance from Colt McCoy. A very, very inspiring performance by Colt McCoy. This man was hurt. He hit the turf so hard on his knee that it took him out for a whole series. But what did Colt McCoy do? He said, nah, the knee's not going to affect my throwing. As long as I'm not, running full speed, I'll be fine. And we saw Colt McCoy come back in and played and gave us the hammer to the nail on this Rams team. And that's exactly what we wanted to see. A quarterback that was able to lead and inspire the rest of this locker room. Like I said a little earlier, I've seen AJ Green smile, ladies and gentlemen. And at one point, I didn't even know he had teeth, because I'd never seen him smile. He always just looked so grumpy. But I've seen AJ Green smile. And also the people that were also, the defense was having a fun time. The Arizona Cardinals offense was having a fun time. We're playing complementary football, and that's exactly what we've been longing to see. Inspired football. I love to see it. We want to keep that going for sure. Now, let's talk about the real GOAT McCoy here, right? I know a lot of people, right? A lot of people came on the live stream yesterday, and they were telling me, Mike, we need to see what Colt McCoy can do. We got to see what Colt McCoy can do further. And then I went ahead and said, I don't know if Kyler is going to be benched if he's healthy, right? Now, I still do think that Kyler Murray deserves another opportunity to go ahead and play like Colt McCoy did. I get it. Two different, quarterbacks, two different, play styles. Some people might have said that, the play calls were completely different. I mean, I'm not in the mind of Cliff Kingsbury. I can't, confirm or deny that whole situation. But truth be told is I still do believe Kyler deserves maybe an opportunity, but with a very short leash. But I'm also not going to sit here and say that I'm being like, I'm blind to what the Bird Gang actually wants, because this is what I actually put a poll up. I put a poll last night because I wanted to get a gauge of what you guys had to say. I got a poll on my last live stream, and literally it was pretty much split. I think it was like 49 to 51%, like 51 to 49%, something like that. But let's take a look at this poll question that I ended up putting up on the community tab. If you guys haven't voted, I highly recommend you do so right now. It's probably over 1,000 right now, but this is what I got screenshotted probably about an hour ago. I asked you guys this question: who should start next week at quarterback if Kyler Murray is healthy? And before you rip my head off in the comments, I asked because on my stream with over 180 people, it was close to a 50-50 split. I just want to get a read for the full channel is what I said. And I said, here's your options: Kyler Murray and Colt McCoy. We had over 955 votes, ladies and gentlemen, 955 votes. And this is what the Arizona Cardinal fans are saying, that they want to see Colt McCoy get another opportunity on Monday Night Football. I mean, I don't blame people. I don't blame people. I really don't. Like, I truthfully don't blame people to feel this way. Now, me, like I said a little earlier, I do think that Kyler Murray does deserve to get the opportunity back, but with a very short leash, with the very understanding that if you can't do what Colt McCoy did, you're going to find your way in the bench, young man. And $230 million contract or not, Colt McCoy, if he's the better option for the Arizona Cardinals to win, then that's the way it's going to have to roll. Because we've seen this offense work the way that it should work with a different quarterback, right? We've seen it. We absolutely seen it. So, I mean, it gives some more thought, right? I knew that this was going to be something that everybody was going to want to talk about here, right? Colt McCoy versus Kyler Murray. It's going to be the big talking point. Now, if you're going to sit here and say, the Arizona Cardinal fans don't deserve Kyler Murray, we're not the only organization. We're not the only organization that's gone through this. And I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. But do you remember Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush? It's the same thing. People just want to win. That's it. People just want to win. So don't blame the people that saw very inspired football on Sunday, right? Don't blame them, because we saw a type of offense that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. And not just because we won, it's because we saw inspired football. It's because we saw a football offense that was actually coming out here and played for each other. Nobody yelling at each other. Nobody telling anybody to calm the F down. Nobody pointing fingers. We didn't see that. And I think that that's what a lot of people are kind of alluding to right now, right? So I don't blame y'all. Let me get to this contribution here from my guy, No F's Given. He says, Kyler needs to learn how to be a leader like Colt. And I think that's kind of one of the big things that, we're wanted to kind of open up to the chat here, right? I don't believe that Kyler Murray is going to get phased out of this offense. I truly don't. I think Colt McCoy is a fantastic backup quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. And if we need the 1 to 2 to 3 wins to get Kyler Murray healthy, I think Colt McCoy can do that for the Arizona Cardinals. I truly do. But Kyler Murray indeed needs to work more on his own personal goals, I guess. His own personal leadership goals, I guess. The idea of Kyler Murray yelling at DeAndre Hopkins, telling him to, calm the F down, you're going to get the ball, and then he didn't get the ball at all in the second half. It's very telling, right? This was going to happen in year 4. And we talked about it in year 2 and year 3. If the Arizona Cardinals are underperforming, there's going to be people that are going to be getting the blame. We gave the blame over to Cliff Kingsbury, right? in the beginning of the season. Now we saw this offense function with Colt McCoy, but I mean, truthfully, I think the Rams were a team that we should have beaten. Right now, it's hindsight, right? 100%. It's hindsight now because we saw what the Rams are, and the Rams are an absolute disaster. John Wolford is not a good quarterback. Like, he's been overthrowing everybody in that game. It's what it actually seemed like. Not trying to take anything away from this Arizona Cardinal win. This is a great win for the Arizona Cardinals. We beat LA. And if you're from AZ, you know exactly where I'm coming from. Anytime we got a chance to beat any Los Angeles teams, that's a huge win for the Arizona Cardinals. Healthy or not healthy. No Matthew Stafford or yes, Matthew Stafford. Doesn't matter. This is a huge win for the Arizona Cardinals because it puts us back in the division race. It puts us back in there. Right now, the Arizona Cardinals are sitting the number 3 spot. At the number 3 spot right now, ladies and gentlemen, with 8 games left, we're sitting at the 3 spot. No, I'm sorry, 7 games left. So 10, 17, 7 games left. And we're 2 games away from meeting the Seahawks. 2 games away from the Seattle Seahawks at this very moment. If you take a look at the Seattle Seahawks schedule, they got the Raiders and then they got the Rams. I mean, the Raiders aren't doing very good. And then the Rams, I mean, hopefully they get better. But then after that, they got the Panthers. So they got a pretty easy stretch coming in for the next 3 weeks. The Arizona Cardinals, on the other hand, let's take a look at what the Cardinals are going to be doing, at least at this very moment. Let's see what the record or what the schedule looks like for the Arizona Cardinals. Right after this game, we have the 49ers, the Chargers, and then there's the bye week. Right after that bye week, we're going to get an opportunity to come back even healthier, right? Marquise Hollywood Brown is coming back as well. So we definitely got some wiggle room here, right? We got a little bit more being able to breathe, right? Get your head above water is what we're looking for. And I mean, we're not quite there yet, right? We're not over, but I mean, we're like this, right? Our eyes are kind of seeing it. We're 2 games down with 7 games to go. I mean, mathematically, we're still in it. Mathematically. Now, whether the Arizona Cardinals don't believe in this team, then that's a different story for a different day. But truth be told, we got the 49ers on Monday Night Football this next week, and then we end the season with the 49ers again. We end the season with the 49ers again. So how great is that? What a great way to go 2-3 within this stretch if we can beat the 49ers. 2-3 within this division with this 3-game stretch, and then we have the Chargers, the Patriots, the Broncos, the Bucks, the Falcons, and then the 49ers we end the season off with. That's a great story ending for the Arizona Cardinals to ride off on the sunset if the 49ers are in a spot that we need, and that last game is very important. I mean, we got a fighting chance here. We absolutely got a fighting chance here. Now, I am still going to sit on my top of my soapbox and still say that Kyler Murray does still deserve an opportunity to come out here and make it right. I still truly believe that Kyler Murray deserves an opportunity to come out here and make it right. I know a lot of people don't like that. I know a lot of people don't want me to say that because they want me to say that Colt McCoy should get the start. As, you know, if you take a look at this poll, most of these people on this poll are saying the same thing, right? They want Colt McCoy to get the start. And I see where you're coming from. I absolutely do. It's just something deep down in me is telling me that we need to at least provide an opportunity to Kyler to get this corrected. Because now it's on him. Now it's on Kyler. This is the opportunity, right? Everybody's been blaming Cliff. I was blaming Cliff this whole time. We saw it. It's not working. Do this, do that, do this. Now the ball is in the court of Kyler Murray. Now it's in his court. So can he be able to come out here and show the world that he's got it? I honestly do think Colt McCoy did a fantastic job with this offense. And I think it opened up a lot of people's eyes. Not just the way we played, but what happened on the sidelines. Not just the way he played, but the way that he was talking to his players that didn't get the ball. If it was overthrown, underthrown, They dropped the ball. It didn't matter. Colt McCoy clapped it away. Let's go. Live to see another down. Let's do it. We got this. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say the Arizona Cardinals are better with Colt McCoy right now, because the only way I would sit here and say that is if Colt McCoy gets the start against the 49ers and does exactly the same thing, or at least just win, right? If he wins against a 49er team, then my narrative will change. But as of right now, it's hard for me to say that the Arizona Cardinals are better with Colt than they are with Kyler when we played a very, very not great Rams team. We said the same thing in the Saints game, right? I mean, we were all excited. We were all, chest puffed out. We were all excited. But that's a team that the Arizona Cardinals should beat. The Saints was a team that we should have beaten, and we beat them good. We beat them good. But as of right now, if you take a look at the teams that the Arizona Cardinals has beaten, the Arizona Cardinals has not beaten a team with the winning record. They haven't. They haven't beaten a team with the winning record. So what have we really won? Let's take a look at the schedule. If you don't believe me, let's take a look at it, right? It's hard to say a winning record with the Chiefs, but let's be honest. The Chiefs absolutely obliterated us, right? 44-21. Okay, let's give away with that. The Raiders, we ended that 1-1, right? We all know how the Raiders turned out. They're an absolute dumpster fire. The Arizona Cardinals did beat them in overtime, so cool. Okay, 1-1. We ended up playing the Rams. At that moment, the Rams beat us. All right, no worries. The Panthers didn't have a winning record. We beat them. The Eagles, we lost. They had a winning record. The Seahawks, I believe at that point they were either at 500 or had a winning record. They beat us. The Saints didn't have a winning record. We beat them. The Vikings had an opportunity, didn't win. The Seahawks didn't beat them, have a winning record. The Rams didn't have a winning record, and we won. So, I mean, we need to go ahead and come out here and actually beat a team with the winning record. Then I will be impressed. I'm excited. I'm not taking away any of this, this win from anybody. This is a huge win for the Arizona Cardinals. We needed it. We absolutely did. But truth of the matter here is that this was a team that was struggling. This was a team that didn't have Matthew Stafford. This was a team that did not play like they usually play. And we came out and took advantage of it. A win's a win. A win's a win. But they're not a team with a winning record. And that's what will actually more impress me. That will impress me a lot more. Be a team with the winning record. Here comes the 49ers, which is going to be another tough matchup. I don't think, they have a winning record right now, right? I think they're actually 5-4 currently right now. Let me just double check, at least as of right now. I think they're 5-4. So here's a big test for the Arizona Cardinals, right? Coming into Monday Night Football, all the eyes are going to be on Cardinals and 49ers going into Monday Night Football. All eyes are going to be on us. Primetime game. This is going to be where you really need to come out and show out right here. And I remember when we beat the Saints, I went to this game and I was walking out and everybody was really excited. And I said to everybody too, and the people that were walking with me, I was like, that's cool. That was a great, I'm glad we won. I'm happy. But we still need to have the Vikings. That's the team that we need to really look out for. We came out to the Vikings and we lost. Let me get over to Jason. Jason coming up with another super chat. Appreciate you. He says, what's up, Mike? Colt handled business. No pouting. Facts. No, that's very true. That's very, very true. I agree. He did handle business for sure. Appreciate the contribution, my guy. So I'm as excited as you guys are, right? I'm excited. Hell yeah. This is a great win for the Arizona Cardinals. We're back at it again. We're getting our our head a little above water. And I think that's exactly what we need, right? We're almost there. We're getting there. But we need to beat a team with the winning record. And the next test is going to be the San Francisco 49ers coming up. That's the next test. And that's what I'm excited for. That's exactly what I need to see here. Whether it's Colt McCoy or whether it's Kyler Murray. If Kyler isn't 100%, throw Colt in. But if Colt doesn't do good against the 49ers, then obviously we have a different topic to talk about next week. Because I think truth of the matter here is that the Arizona Cardinals need to beat a team with a winning record in order for us to say, hey, playoffs, playoff bound, here we come. Because as of right now, I'm going to keep playing that same little clip, right? That playoffs, you're talking about playoffs? Because it's true. Let's beat a team with the winning record, and then we will be fine. Now, this is funny too, right? It's not that it's funny, but obviously this poll question was a very big surprise to me as well. And I also put it on my Instagram as well. Let's take a look to see what Instagram is saying right now. I think last time I looked, Kyler Murray was actually winning that poll. But at least as of right now, let me check my Instagram to see where we're at. Yes, so we have 331 votes on Instagram, and 53% is saying Kyler with 118 votes, and then Colt McCoy with 105 votes, 47%. So, I mean, it's as close as split. It's as close as split in my eyes. Like, it's crazy. I never thought we were going to be in this situation here. It's nuts. Let's go to Jason's contribution. He says, if Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury not getting his way, so is Cliff Kingsbury or Kyler Murray not getting his ways? Just curious. Like, are you asking like who's to blame? Right? It's hard to blame somebody that we just saw last week, or I guess yesterday, a quarterback that was able to do the job, right? On how this offense was done. So as of right now, I know a lot of fingers are pointing at Kyler. A lot of fingers are pointing at Kyler right now. A lot of fingers. And I don't blame anybody for pointing those fingers at Kyler Murray. But the ball's in his court right now. That's the truth of the matter here, is the ball is in the court of Kyler Murray at this very moment to get this job corrected. Now, like I said, if he's not healthy, if he's not 100%, I hope Cliff Kingsbury doesn't force Kyler Murray into there and say, here we go, it's back on you. Because no, I don't think that's right for a couple different reasons. A, it's not putting Kyler Murray in the best position to succeed, and it doesn't give the Arizona Cardinals the best way to succeed. It should be Colt. So if Kyler Murray isn't healthy, and I mean 100% healthy, it should be Colt McCoy going in there. If he's a full go, his hamstring isn't hurting anymore, then hey, then Kyler it is, but with a very short leash. But let's also be honest here. We also saw, James Conner get involved today. Oh, I'm sorry, yesterday. I keep saying today. Yesterday. James Conner had probably one of his best games, and it felt like last year. James Conner was never given the ball 21 times, 69 yards with 2 touchdowns this year. Was never. At all. So, I mean, there's something to be said about having a running back that you're constantly feeding, constantly giving the ball to left and right, and making sure that he's going to be able to get the yards. With Kyler Murray, we're seeing a running back by committee. With Colt McCoy, we saw our workhorse, James Conner, do it. And he did a fantastic job. A fantastic job. 21 carries, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns. Fantastic job. So, I mean, can we get the same thing for, can we get the same thing for Kyler if he does go in? Get James Conner in there. Give him the opportunity to keep pounding that rock. Let's get to Jason here with another super chat. He says, how come everyone looked happy with Colt McCoy out there? I mean, that's a great question, too. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little earlier in the stream. Bro, I saw AJ Green, man, smiling like I have not seen AJ Green smile in a while. At all. It's crazy. There's something to be said about it. You're right. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say you're not right, Jason, because you're putting out with a lot of great stuff, and I know you're hinting. I know what you're doing, my dude, and I appreciate it. I know exactly what you're doing, right? You're giving all the great things that we've seen here today, and there's nothing I can say to deny it. Because you're right. This team played inspired football without Kyler Murray on the field. Inspired football. And I love it. Keontae Ingram only had one carry, one carry, 5 yards. That's it. Because James Conner was given the rock time in and time again. And it's allowing that running back to get better and better and better each time. It's like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry gets the ball. What you got to do? Just keep feeding Derrick Henry. That's all you got to do. It ain't brain science. Keep doing it. Because if you take a look at the Seahawks game, yes, we fell back. Kyler Murray was the guy who got most of the yards. That's the Seahawks game. Let's take a look at the Vikings game. Kyler Murray again was the one rushing the most yards. So it's like, I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint it. It is. It's hard to pinpoint it. If we can get James Conner to the back of the way we saw James Conner yesterday with Kyler, then I think it opens up so many things. We just got to keep feeding James. Let me get to SUC. He says, why is everyone switching up on Kyler? Because we beat up a depleted Rams team. Shake my head. We all know what Kyler can do if Cliff still hasn't, what Kyler can do. Cliff still hasn't proven very much. And this is my sentiment too. This is the way I feel as well, SUC, pertaining to like me. If I'm still going to vote, I still would go team Kyler, at least at this very moment. But with the understanding that he's got a very, very, very short leash because people are talking, people are chirping at this very moment. They saw what this offense can be with Colt McCoy. But you're right. A Rams team that didn't look like the Rams of last year. This Rams team has been going through a downward spiral for a bit now. This is a team that we should have beaten, and I'm so glad Colt McCoy got the start because it gave us an opportunity to kind of really have this conversation, right? It gave us the opportunity to have this question or this conversation to have because I truly do believe Kyler Murray isn't perfect, right? Kyler Murray isn't perfect, and it's not close. Kyler Murray needs to work on a few different things. Throwing the ball up the middle, taking what the defense gives him, and throw the ball away if need be. I think he's done a better job this year with throwing the ball away, but there's also some times where he literally just falls down and takes the sack, and that's fine, right? He's not the biggest guy out there, so he doesn't want to get absolutely obliterated, and I can see where you're coming from. But, I mean, did you see the fight in Colt McCoy? Colt McCoy, man, he gave a different light to this offense. A different light to this offense. Jason, Jay, you're killing me, Jason. He says the 7.5 QB, more of a leader than a $230 million QB. I mean, you're right. With the whole leader, I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. I do agree. I agree with the idea of that Colt is a better leader. I do agree with the sentiment that you will never catch Colt McCoy telling DeAndre Hopkins to calm the F down. I agree with that. 100% agree with that sentiment. I do think Colt McCoy is a better leader. I do think Colt McCoy is a better people person, and he doesn't allow his emotions to get the best of him. I agree with you. 100%. But there's the but, right? There's the but that nobody wants to listen to. I still think he needs to get the opportunity to show that he can do it. And if he can't, then there we go. Colt McCoy. But if he does not play versus the 49ers, and the 49ers play against the Cardinals on Monday night, and Colt McCoy does go in, and he beats a 49er team, then we're going to be talking about something different the following day. On Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever we do the next live stream after that, then we'll absolutely have the conversation of maybe we should be benching Kyler. Because as of right now, the Rams are the Rams. Not a great team. John Wolford, bad. Colt McCoy, good. Colt McCoy is an outstanding backup quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. He can get the job done whenever we need to get the job done for sure. So I agree. I mean, I know you're throwing those those sudden and subtle jabs or subtle comments because you're right. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that you're wrong because with what we've seen so far, I agree. Let's get to Illadre here. Says Kyler needs to work on his pre-snap reads. Yes, pre-snap reads as well as well, I guess that's the same thing, right? Adjustments, audibles, stuff like that. I do agree with that, right? Some people even said that he has a hard time reading defenses. I mean, yeah, it's hard to not say you are correct, Illadre. It's hard to say that you're not correct. But I still do think Kyler deserves an opportunity. Just one more. Give him the opportunity. One more, a Monday night with a very short leash. And you tell him, Kyler Murray, your job ain't safe. The $230 million is not safe. Let's get to No F's Given. He says, we can't blame K1 for being a bad leader. We just put him straight to work when we got him. He had no mentor to make him a good leader. Instead, we got a kid with no experience. I'm still a Kyler guy. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm still a Kyler guy as well. 100%. I'm still a Kyler guy as well. I still do think that Kyler Murray deserves an opportunity. And I know there's some people out there that are going to read the title of this, right, and automatically going to paint a picture, right? They're automatically going to say, Mike does not care about Kyler Murray. Mike's the devil. Let's do all this because Mike doesn't care. I want the best for the Arizona Cardinals to succeed. It's just the way that it is. I want this team to succeed. I don't care who it is. Right now, I feel like Kyler's giving us the best opportunity to win. Right now. But if we see another performance like Colt McCoy did against a winning team, ooh, all bets are off at that very moment. All bets are off. But I still truly believe in my heart of hearts here that the Arizona Cardinals can continue to win games with Kyler. He just needs to continue to do what he does, right? He's great. But I think that maybe somehow kind of got to his head, right? Maybe somehow he feels like he can't do any wrong. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know the guy personally. But we'll see. Now, let's move over here real quick to the Cardinals beating the Rams, right? If you guys were here in the pregame show when we did our pregame show on was it Sunday morning, I said if Colt McCoy was going to be able to give something to this Arizona Cardinal fan base, a W against this Rams organization that we have yet to beat other than one time, boy, there was going to be a lot of narrative changes. Boy, there was going to be a lot of names being called. Boys, there are going to be a lot of things people are saying pertaining to Colt McCoy should be starting. And that's exactly what Colt McCoy gave us. Colt McCoy gave us our second win in 4 years against the LA Rams. That's been completely obliterating us, making us the daddies, right? Or they're like saying things like they're our daddies and then, all this different stuff, right? Making memes about, Aaron Donald and having a little baby with Kyler Murray's face on it, right? We've been seeing it all. We saw it all as Cardinal fans. Colt McCoy gave us hope. Colt McCoy gave us the light at the end of the tunnel. And I applaud him for doing that. I think he did a fantastic job making this offense work the way that he did. And what did he do? He took what the defense gave him. And when that moment that they noticed or that he noticed that the offensive coordinator was trying something different, it didn't matter. Because now they're playing into our hand. Because now they're playing into our hand. And I think the Arizona Cardinals did a very good job with that with Colt McCoy. Beating the Rams was definitely an ego boost for the Arizona Cardinal fans. And I'm right there with you. I'm equally as happy, especially because it was the LA Rams that's been beating us left and right. Beating us left and right. And I'm glad. 100% glad. But something deep down tells me that we need to give him at least one more opportunity. I'm not saying that let's ride with Kyler Murray for the year. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying let's give him one more opportunity. Let's see if you can do what, Colt McCoy did. With the understanding that, hey, your job ain't safe, man. You have $230 million. But let's be honest, you don't have no trade clause in your contract, Kyler Murray. You don't. Right? That was one of the most awkward things that I've seen. And that's one thing that nobody talked about in that press conference when Kyler Murray got the extension. The moment that the media asked, why does Kyler Murray not have a no trade clause in his contract? Usually franchise quarterbacks or franchise players have that. And Kyler Murray got into a squirrely mode, right? Steve Keim got into a defensive mode. Oh, we don't talk about things like that, right? Anything that happens behind closed doors, we don't talk about anything like that. Kyler Murray needs to get set down and come down to the real realization of, hey, maybe Cole is the right person to go with. Maybe. But I just want to see Cole one more time in a full game, or not even a full game. I just want to see him beat a team with a winning record. That's all I want. Put Cole in there. If you beat the 49ers on Monday Night Football, if Kyler Murray can't go, then we're talking about a whole different situation. Then we're talking about a whole different situation there. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Now, I did promise everybody that was on yesterday's live stream that we are going to be opening up the phone lines on this live stream. So let's do this. We're going to open up the phone lines. I want to make sure that you guys get the opportunity to come in here. We have 100 people in here right now. If you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Facebook, anywhere else other than YouTube, if you want to join in and talk on the phones or come in here on the live stream and, voice your opinions, all you need to do is come on to YouTube, because what I do is I post the link in the chat and I go ahead and pin it in the chat as well. So if you want to come through, get off Twitter, get off Facebook, get off everywhere and come on to YouTube. I'm posting the picture or the link right now and I'm pinning it in the chat as of right now. So if you want to come through, just jump on, click on the link, turn on your camera if you want, and jump onto the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. I did promise you guys that I will be opening up the phone lines, and here we go. The phone lines will be open up. Now, if you guys can do me one huge favor, can you put some popcorn in the chat below, ladies and gentlemen? Because let's be honest, I think when we open up the phone lines, we definitely hear some great things, but we also hear some things that are a little out there. But I definitely want to give some respect to respect is due, and let's put them popcorn it up in the comments below. It is time to open up the phone lines. Yes, it is time. Click on the link, ladies and gentlemen. It's right there. It's pinned on the comments below. Let's hear what you guys have to say. Let me go ahead and get my everything set up here on my end. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I got my first call in. Let's go ahead and bring in Jonathan. Jonathan, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Brother, man, talk to me. How are you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Good, man. Good. Can't complain, man. How are you feeling about the Arizona Cardinals? Yes.
I'm good, man. I was watching the game, and I gotta say this: my son plays on his high school football team, and this whole season, they got a new coach, and I'm like, hey, the coach is not. A lot of people were complaining that the coach was not doing good, and my son would always tell me, Dad, is not always the coach. It's that the players don't listen or don't believe, or they don't want to play for him or something to that matter. And I didn't understand that quite well till yesterday when I was watching the game, because it seems like when Kyler's in there, everybody's in there for themselves. And yesterday, I mean, with a backup offensive line and a bunch of second strings and third stringers, they protected him, and, you could tell they were going out of their way to play for Colt. It doesn't seem like they want to play for Kyler, and like I said at the beginning of the season, when you asked us, if we should give him a contract or get rid of him, I was one of the get rid of him people, and I said, keep Colt in there. Colt is going to do good. It just seems like he commands that desire or that, and also he ran the plays as called. I don't know why I have this weird feeling that when Kyler's in there, if Cliff says, all right, we're gonna do this play and it's supposed to run right, Kyler's gonna go out of his way to make it go left. Just because he's selfish, he sounds like he's a brat. And if something doesn't work, not my fault. I did my job, Yeah. So seeing that kind of stuff, and even I'm not saying Colt is a starter or should be the starter, but everybody's saying, oh, depleted Rams, blah blah blah. He still played their starting defense. somebody else said that I couldn't go on your live yesterday, but I was watching it this morning, and that's right. They played the starting defense. They didn't play backups. They didn't play the second or third string defensive line. They didn't play the backup, and he did fine. Now it would have been bad if our defense couldn't hold their backup, but their top defense couldn't hold our backup. So I'm proud of this win. I thought they did great, and they
Yeah.
deserve all the credit he can get. And going on Monday, man, give Kyler Murray time to heal. Keep Colt in there. I think he's taking full advantage of his opportunity, and he's gonna demand the rest of the team. I mean, even in the victory speech in the balls away, everybody just seemed happy, and I'm sure they're happy because they won. But still, I think having that difference of a leader, he demands that respect. Not only that, it seems like he earned their respect. They want to play for him. They want to block for him. They want to run for him. They want to dive for the ball for him. So they went out of the way to perform for this guy. It seems like they don't feel the same about this entitled young little kid who got a bunch of money who wants to play the way he wants to play versus listening to the coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
So
I absolutely hear you. I appreciate you. Anything else? We got one more person that wants to jump on. Anything else, Jonathan?
hopefully I'll be calling you next Tuesday saying that we kicked ass in Mexico.
There you go. Love it, man. Appreciate you, man. As always, have a great day, dude. Later. All right, let's get to my next caller here. If you guys don't know, the link is pinned right there. If you want to jump on in, come on through. We got another person here. You are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling? Some people are just the weirdest people out there, ladies and gentlemen. I swear, like this is one of the main reasons why I don't open up the phone lines, because people are just so darn odd. People are so darn odd. Let me go ahead and just do a real quick thing here, real quick, just for wasting people's time as well as your own time, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just do this here, real quick. Let me just give you the shame bell.
Shame. Shame.
Just an absolute weird person and a weird thing to do. Okay, no worries. All right, let's keep it going here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and see if anybody else wants to jump in. The link is pinned in the chat if you guys want to come through. If not, no worries. We'll continue to go ahead and just talk here. We'll read the chat and see where you guys are coming from. And here's the thing. I think a lot of people are kind of getting me twisted and really figuring out where people are like, hey, Mike doesn't want to win. It's not that I don't want to win. It's just I feel like he just needs at least one more game. Like that's all I'm asking for. But that's the thing. Like, even if he doesn't start, I'm not going to be mad. Like, I have no connection with Kyler anyways, right? It's not something where like I'm going to win something if he gets to start. It's not like that. So I'm curious to figure out how this team is going to work this Monday Night Football game. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm really looking into right now. I'm looking into figuring out how this team is going to come out against a team like the 49ers that just came off a huge win, an absolute huge win. And I definitely do think that obviously kudos to them for getting that win. And I've actually jumped on a few different, people that do those, same stuff that I do before the 49ers, and people said that they should have blown out that team. So, some people are excited about, what happened over there, but this is going to be the sentiment here, right here. And now right now, what I'm doing right now is I'm taking a screenshot of the last tweet that I ended up putting here on Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, definitely do that for me right now. Everything is in the description, as well as the handles are going to be down here below as well. Here is what I posted about, the sentiment and how I'm curious to figure out how this Arizona Cardinal team is going to shake out going into this Monday Night Football game, because we got some time to really come down and think about it. So I said, I'm very curious how the Arizona Cardinals will handle Monday Night Football if Kyler Murray is healthy. Now, keep in mind, that's the big thing out there, right? That's the big X factor. If Kyler Murray is healthy, because if Kyler Murray isn't healthy and you're starting, Colt McCoy, there's nobody really talking, right? Because people are like, oh, well, Kyler isn't healthy, so it's not a big deal. But if Kyler Murray is healthy, because Colt McCoy led this offense like we haven't seen in a while, is what I posted. And truthfully, what I mean by that is not just because we beat a Rams team, it's because how we did it. Just like when Jonathan came out said, right? We played inspired football. People were laughing. People seemed to be a lot happier in the game when they were doing their celebration, right? People seem to be happier. I'm curious. I'm absolutely curious. But let's go ahead and get over here. We got one person here. I think we got a 49ers fan up in here right now. John Jay, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube, man. Talk to me. How are you feeling, I guess, about your team or the Cardinals?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on. Apologies. I'm working right now, so I can't show my face.
You're fine.
But what's up, man? How are you doing, man? How are you doing?
Good, man. Just living the life right now, right? Arizona Cardinals win against the Rams. We're excited.
Yeah. I actually have a good friend who's a Cardinals fan. And he was like, oh, man, what's wrong with my team? He was giving up on his team.
Yep.
And then yesterday I was talking to him and he was excited because, number one, he's not a big Rams fan. He does not like the Rams.
Yep. So
for him beating the Rams, he was excited that he beat the Rams because he just does not like the Rams. But I felt for him. Because out of many Cardinals fans that I know, he's one of the most coolest, relaxed, realistic on his team. But he said that next week, he doesn't feel comfortable against the 49ers. And I said, hey, I don't feel comfortable on my 49ers. Last time, we should have done better, but that's for a different show. I know you have CG who give you his thoughts about that game tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, when I look at the Cardinals next week, I look at like the Chargers game. I never, ever basically say the Cardinals are not a good team because the Cardinals somehow have our numbers. Last year, oh my goodness, I don't even want to talk about and other Cardinals fans. Hey, Colt McCoy. So I am never ever going to say the Cardinals are an easy team to beat. So for the Niners, how we played yesterday, very slow, very, very slow. We have McCaffrey on this team. We have Debo on this team. We have Ayuk. Yeah. We have Jawan Jennings. We have George Kittle, and we got Elijah Mitchell back, and only 22 points. 22 points. And it wasn't Jimmy Garoppolo's fault. Jimmy, did a really good job. Our offensive line has, a lot of questionable. Mike McGlinchey always holding or missing his pass protection. And our defense had some bad moments. Like, I'm not going to say the Niners yesterday had a really good game. There was a lot of things that really upset me when I was watching the 49ers. And I will say this to the Chargers. Imagine if they would have had Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Joey Bosa, J.C. Jackson, their left tackle. It would have been bad for the 49ers because Justin Herbert is a beast. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, he does not get a lot of credit. But, yeah, the Niners didn't really show out yesterday. So that's my thoughts on the 49ers.
Cool. Perfect. I appreciate you, John Jay. Thank you so very much. I'll take your comments offline here. One thing I wanted to say, definitely, obviously, appreciate you for coming on. FYI, definitely appreciate it. And that's one thing that I've been hearing a lot from 49er fans as well. Because, like, I like to jump on stuff like that too, right? Like, you guys like to jump on and obviously listen and talk to everybody in the chat here, all Arizona Cardinal fans. I'd like to do the same, especially in those primetime games, right? You're looking at those fan bases and what they're hearing, and what John Jay exactly said was what I heard, right? We should have beat them out. We did a slow start, stuff like that. So I'm actually kind of glad that he said those things because it gives me a little hope, right? Obviously, it gives me a little hope going into this game this Monday night because they're going through some issues, right? I feel like every win we've had so far this year, we've always had that little momentum of like, man, I wish we did better, right? I wish we did this better. This game with Colt McCoy, like we had 10 penalties, but it didn't feel like 10 penalties. Like it didn't feel like 10 penalties this game at all. I felt like we played the best football that we've played this whole year. It's crazy to say it. It absolutely is crazy because I feel like we truly, truly played the best complimentary football that we did under Colt McCoy. So truthfully, absolutely truthfully here, I like what Colt McCoy did. I do. I absolutely do. it gives me a little bit inspired, right? When John Jay came up and said, hey, they're starting off slow. They're not doing this. They're not utilizing these people here and there. Hey, that's something that I hope the Arizona Cardinals can take advantage of, right? That's something that I hope the Arizona Cardinals can absolutely take advantage of. Let me go ahead and get to this contribution here real quick. And I got my other guy here, another 49er. Let's go. All right, Corey, give me a second. I'm going to put you in here real quick. So Jonathan says, bottom line, Colt made it an actual team, not an individual players playing for themselves. Oh, you guys are making me change my thoughts now, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the thing. If Colt starts on Monday and he does what we saw him do against the Rams, I'm not going to be mad. I'm not. I know a lot of people are turning against Kyler, and I'm not turning against Kyler, but I just want to see this Cardinal team win. Like, that's all I want to see. Let's go ahead and get to my guy, Corey. Corey, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling either about the Cardinals or your team?
I'm feeling good about both teams. Even though I did yesterday because I thought y'all were going to lose because of y'all Stuart Baker.
Yeah.
I didn't know when I made the pick, I didn't know that Matthew Stafford was out.
Yeah.
Gonna be out. I was like, oh man, now I wish I could change my pick. Oh, shoot. Maybe man. But yesterday game, I have a feeling that we were gonna struggle a little bit because every time the Niners come off of a bye week, they make a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes be made. Like, I don't know what it is. Every time they come off a bye week, they start off the game rotten.
Okay.
So, it was just, I was all at the game like, who won? I was trying to, I had gloves on because it was cold. I didn't feel like taking my gloves and that's my phone. I was like, y'all know who won Arizona and Rams? Then at the end of the game, I finally took my gloves off. I said, oh man. But I said, ooh, AZ's going to be happy at, West and Pell time. It's gonna be
oh yeah, he's hiding in a dark corner right now under his bed probably. Corey, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, thank you 49er for coming on here. You're getting me excited about this game, ladies and gentlemen. This Monday Night Football game, I'm actually bringing back my hope because my 49er fam up in here coming and giving us hope. Let's go ahead and bring one last person in here right now. Let's bring in Ethan. Ethan, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling about the Cardinals?
What's up, Mike? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I was really torn last night between just seeing Colt out there and actually lead this offense more than Kyler almost ever has,
Mm-hmm.
And it really makes me think, is there really something going on with Kyler in that locker room that the wide receivers just don't trust him?
Yeah. And I think that's kind of one of the biggest things that, obviously a lot of people want to talk about, right? And I do think that it is to a point because, like, let's be honest, right? I think the moment that we saw Kyler Murray tell DeAndre Hopkins, calm the F down, like, how did you truly feel about that? That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I'm not sure about you. How do you feel about that?
I was a little torn because it's like, yeah, he's finally getting that fire that he needs as a leader that we haven't seen him ever use. But also, you don't scream at your number one receiver, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You may talk to him with a stern voice, but you don't scream at him and say that.
Yeah.
And that shows me that Kyler is probably a little immature and not where he should be as a leader.
The funny thing is that there was an interview, and I think it was about a week or two, and I was going to make a video about it. And I told myself, I don't want to make this video because I don't want to give you guys like a false, narrative or whatever. So I didn't do it, but it was Isaiah Simmons. It was one of his interviews, and I think it was the one before the Seahawks game. He actually came out and gave a very good interview, one that I didn't expect. He basically came out and said that everybody needs to check their egos out the door. Everybody needs to, be mature and, come as a team. And now that I'm thinking about it, hindsight, dang, is this really what maybe the Cardinals organization is thinking about Kyler? Like, now my head is spinning.
I mean, you look at the defense, right? The defense has a clear leader in Buddha and a bunch of other, like Zaven, he's really coming out as a leader. Yep. This offense has no direction, and that has to start with leadership. Yeah. I mean, I still think Cliff is a problem, right?
Yeah.
But you as a quarterback, you have to lead the offense. You have to. You know, you can't have DeAndre Hopkins leading the offense. You can't have, I mean, even when Larry was here, he wasn't the sole leader of this offense.
True.
As a quarterback, Kyler has to become a leader. And I really just don't think he's ready for that.
You might be right, man. Honestly, the more and more calls I listen to, the more and more my mind changes narrative. And it's funny because everybody's like, you changed so much. I'm just like, welcome to football season, ladies and gentlemen. It's an emotional roller coaster. Welcome to my brain. All right, Ethan. Appreciate you, brother, man. Have a great rest of your day, man. Later.
You as well. Thank you.
Peace. Yeah, I mean, here's the whole situation, ladies and gentlemen. I think most Arizona Cardinal fans just want to watch us win. Like, that's it. That's the proof in the pudding right there. Most Arizona Cardinal fans just want to win. I know that Arizona Cardinals, right? We paid Kyler. We paid him $230 million. He got paid. But if indeed the locker room knows who they want to play for, then I'm putting this on the coaching staff. I'm putting this on the leadership, the ownership to do the right thing, right? I'm not going to be mad. I don't care. I don't care. I just, in my heart of hearts, I feel like Kyler deserves another opportunity. But if he doesn't, and if we win, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, what? Well, blah, 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 blah. I mean, unless we lose, that's different, right? If we put Colt and we win, cool. I don't care. It's not my money that we're spending for the $230 million. But I think truth be told is now I'm starting to kind of backtrack, right? I'm starting to remember all the post games. I'm starting to remember all the interviews where people said that we need to check our egos out the door. We need to be mature. We need to come together as a team. And man, like, now this narrative is out there that everybody seems to want to play for Colt, or at least, I mean, it's coming from the fans, right? There's nobody within the organization that came out and said this, right? Just want to put that out there. Nobody in the organization said they want to play for Colt. It's just what we're observing on our end. That's what the fans are thinking, right? That's what we're seeing on our end. So I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty torn. Let me get to this probably last super chat of the night, or of the day. Thank you so very much, Illadre. He says, nobody is talking about our middle linebackers that are playing hard. I think those are X factors against the Niners. Ooh, yeah. Zaven Collins, bro, let me be honest. I've been eating crow a lot, and I'm okay with it. I gave an official apology, maybe a little clunky apology yesterday for Rondell Moore. And I'm going to do the same thing with Zaven Collins. Zaven Collins just came out and looked very, very good. And he's only getting better and better and better the more opportunity that he's getting. It's fantastic. Isaiah Simmons, boy, just put him out there. That's all you need to do. Put him out there. Let him do his thing. He's going to get beat every once in a while, but he'll force something great. And I think that's exactly what a lot of people want to see. Just put the young man out there. Put him out there. That's all we need. That's all we need. Zaven, huge win for sure. Isaiah Simmons, huge win for sure. We are going to end off in this note, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for everybody for coming through. This has been an absolute pleasure speaking to everybody. I think we capped out 115, 120 on a random morning. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for the new channel member that we just got today. Thank you so very much for everybody that has contributed today. Thank you, everybody, for being in the chat and being very proactive in the chat as well, just talking back and forth, arguing with each other. That's what this community is about, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys haven't done so already, definitely do me a huge favor. Smack the like button on this video. Do it for the algorithm. Do it for that one lonely Cardinal fan that doesn't know that this community exists. Do it for that one lonely Cardinal fan that's looking for a home. All you need to do is smack the like button and help out this channel keep growing and growing and growing. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.